Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new season of Ready to Love, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Child, look, it's giving very much struggle bus, okay? Honey, it's gonna be struggle love all up and through Chocolate City. Do y'all hear me? Honey, I'm not too impressed with the singles. A lot of it is not given the zhuzh that needs to be given. But honey, we're going to stay on this ride no matter what. And I see a lot of bald heads and beards. And a lot of people that are now divorced. But child, don't hold it against them, honey, because sometimes it just don't work out. Now, child, let's get into it if we going to get into it. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead because they had the casting special first. And then they had the actual episode. So since, you know, this cast is new and we're trying to get to know them and whatnot, I'm going to give a brief synopsis of each single first, and then we're gonna get into the episode. So it might be a little bit long, so buckle up. Honey, y'all better watch to the end too. I ain't playing with y'all. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you are back for a second or third time, or you are back for the third season of Ready to Love with me, thank you so much for coming back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's go. First, we're introduced to Frank. He's 35. He owns his own beverage company. Seems a little bit too flashy and whatnot for me. Said his ex didn't appreciate him. Okay, sir. Next up is Corey, the gym owner. Child, he said he went on 100 dates in a year. Okay. When I get into the review of the episode, you will understand exactly what's going on with Corey, okay? He's a whole fool. Do y'all hear me? He runs game on women, all up and through. He said that his red flags are you going through his phone, you verbally abusing him or verbally disrespecting him, and you not keeping yourself up. Because if you're not giving the zhuzh that needs to be given, he's gone. And this is what I think of when I look at Corey. You remember that skinny boy in high school that you never really looked at, and then when he got out of high school, he discovered weights? Okay, now girls will actually look at him. So, honey, he's trying to collect all the numbers he can before the looks fade away. I mean, that's basically what he giving me. He said that, you know, he has all 3 sixes. A 6-pack, 6 figures, and he's 6 feet. Okay, 6'6". So we know you're the devil. Moving forward. Phil is 37. He's been single for a year and a half. His mom passed, and he's ready to get married. And he's looking for that Michelle and Obama type of love. Moving forward. Next, we have Shiloh. She's 33. She said 2 years ago, 6 months into her relationship, she found out the man was married. And she wants a quiet, confident man. Not somebody loud and boisterous. So basically silent swag. Next up, we have Courtney. She's 30. 4.5 years ago was her last relationship. She got pregnant and her ex wanted her to still be doing the old her. But, you know, she decided she wanted to mature, especially after having a baby. So now here she is. Next up is Camille. Baby, Camille is a piece of work. Do y'all hear me? A fellow educator. She's 42 years old. She said she got named the Black Widow because she gets men all wrapped up in her web of lies, child, because she likes to lie to them and whatnot and make them think that she like them when she really don't. And then when they get too close, she's like, deuces. But see, this is what I think about Camille. I think Camille is the type of person that flirts with you when she's bored, and then she accidentally flirts her way into a relationship. All of a sudden, they're in love, and she's like, oh, no, I didn't mean that. Girl, what in the world? She said that she's been engaged 3 times. Moving forward. Next up is Cornelius. He's an electrical engineer. He just got out of a relationship and he blamed it on that ex, and he decided that he needs to get back in church. He's very family oriented, and he said that he doesn't want to have sex until marriage. He's going to try to hold out, but he don't know if he can do it. And one thing I noticed about Cornelius is he has beautiful teeth and a beautiful smile. Okay? Moving forward. Next up is MUMEN. She's 36. She's a singer. She said that, you know, there were obviously red flags in her last relationship, but she ignored them. Spirituality is very huge for her, and she doesn't want to have sex until marriage either. So maybe her and Cornelius can get together, but I ain't see the two of them say not one word to each other. Do y'all hear me? But we're going to get into that when we get into it. Next up is Aisha. She's 38, a hair salon owner. Well, Aisha, you couldn't have got some of these wigs together or your own, honey. Wig ain't got not damn piece of a part. And y'all know how I feel about a wig plopped on top of your head. I don't like it. But y'all, she is a salon owner, married 11 years, got a divorce. Her husband was a cheater, pumpkin eater. She made a choice to leave him. She said the men are little weirdos. Honey, I concur. And the dating pool has pee in it. Everybody out. Honey, everybody out. Next up is Walter. Walter is 46. He's a reformed thug. Okay, Tupac. Married 1.5 years. He was together with her for 9. He said, you know, he was out there bad. Okay, he was for the streets, basically. But he wanted to change in order to be with her. So they got married, and then 1.5 years later, she passed away. Oh, child, that is heartbreaking. And we're going to continue to get into that a little bit later. Next up is ZADIA. She's 35. She said guys ask her to come to their house, and that's a big turnoff. She said a man needs to make an appointment to date her. Girl, no wonder you by yourself, not an appointment to date you. Girl, this is real. This is the real world. We do not have time to make sure that your calendar is open. Girl, what is happening? She said her love language is talking shh. All right, y'all, let's continue. Next up, we have Sabrina, and she's 45. She has an 8-year-old daughter. Now, Sabrina said she had a relationship with the man that she had the 8-year-old with, right? A man with no kids and no wife and no relationship, only to find out that he had a wife and kids and a whole baby mama and some more kids. Child, now he playing Michael Kyle. Not my wife and kids. Oh, child, it's a fool. Moving forward. Next up is DANTA. He's 38, a deputy superintendent, has 3 kids with 3 children's mothers. No, thank you. Moving forward. Next up is Carrington. He's 33. Ron from last season. That's exactly who he reminds me of. Honey had the nerve to have on a little dangly earring in one of his confessionals. I said, oh, not that dangly earring. Let me just tell y'all something. If a man come up to me with that dangly earring on, honey, all bets are off. Do you understand me? Do not come up to me with that dangly earring on. Child, I hate that. So anywho, it was the dangly earring of it all. And his last relationship was 6 years ago. Next up is Tyrone. He's 44. He's been single for over 4 years. He went to the military straight out of high school. Again, no thanks. Okay? I can't do military, honey. I just can't, honey. I've had so many problems with the military and whatnot. I don't want to be bothered. He said growing up, his mama was out there in these streets. You do not sit up here and just out your mama like that. That's not right, honey. That's just not right. He said, you know, subconsciously, he didn't trust women. But he worked through it and realized that everybody is not his mama. But the military plus the mommy issues, honey, it's screaming red flag. Oh, no, ma'am. Next up is Lamont. I forgot how old Lamont is, child, but we're going to continue on. He does spoken word. Let's give a few snaps. He got married at 22 years old and his wife cheated on him. Next up is Carrie, 38. She got married at 21. She wasn't ready and got divorced a year later. She said the men in DC are there for a good time, not a long time. Next up is LIBBA, 44. And child, she gave us some type of nickname, but I wasn't really listening. She was married, but they weren't on the same page. Next up is Naim. He's 40. His ex was in the military. They were together for almost a year, and then she moved away. And he wants a highly melanated woman. Honey, the more melanated, the better. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Moving forward. Next up is Tasia. She's 33. She says she's the girl next door, but I didn't see girl next door, okay? She was giving very much the judge, okay? She didn't seem girl next door, but that's just me. She says she exudes feminine energy, and she wants somebody with a beard, and her type is medium ugly. Child, you got a lot to choose from. Moving forward. So whoever she chooses, just know that you're medium ugly. Now let's get into the review. When the episode first opens up, the singles start to show up at the mansion, right? So Carrington and Aisha, they show up first, and then Sabrina and Tyrone. Tyrone liked him some Sabrina as soon as he saw her because she said that she was born in Korea. So he was like, oh my gosh, I really like Sabrina. I mean, I became a man in Korea. Not that you like her because of the geographical location. Boy, goodbye. So anywho, and she's like, yeah, you know, I got it on my back. So then he starts singing this Korean song, and she's like, yeah, I don't know much. Child, not you humming a little tune already. And honey, she didn't say she was Korean. I don't know if she is or not. She said she was born in Korea. Moving forward. So Sabrina is telling them that she wants to get married, and then Walter shows up. And he sees Sabrina and thought she was stunning. Baby, they giving energy. Do y'all hear me? Baby, them two was looking at each other. I said, okay, energy. Naim showed up, and he liked Tasia because of all the curves and whatnot. Honey, he loved all the voluptuousness, okay? Frank hit the scene, and Aisha started surveying the people. Honey, she was like, are you here for love? Do you think you're here for love? Are you ready to be in love? Are you ready for love? Aisha, Tommy is the host. Just fall back, honey. He got it. He got it under control. Then Carrie showed up, and she said when Frank came in, she noticed his voice and he could talk the panties off a woman. Oh, girl, calm down, honey. First of all, his clothes were entirely too tight. That's number one. Number two, these men are just not giving, okay? I mean, maybe that's just my opinion, but I mean, it's just not giving what needs to be gave, and I just need you to calm down, Carrie, honey. You're getting a little bit too hot in the pants, okay? Frank seems like he runs game to me, because he started talking to the ladies, and then he went to go sit down with Aisha, right? So she's talking about her tattoos and her being divorced 3 or 4 years. No, baby, what is you doing? Like, why are you talking to him about your divorce? Allow him to mingle with you. Like, allow him to talk to you. Let's get into the conversation a little bit more. Don't just sit straight down and be like, yeah, so I've been divorced like 3 or 4 years. Because as soon as she said that, he said, but we're moving on, right? She's like, oh, yeah, we're moving on. Girl, yes, we are. Moving forward. So Courtney shows up. And the men like what they see. They're complimenting her hair because, you know, she got the natural hair, honey, and it's flowing in the wind and whatnot. And she said she's wearing the Leo necklace for a reason. She's a Leo, so the hair, the necklace, giving Lion King realness. Okay, Nyla, honey girl, we see you. I don't know the words. Honey, that's for you, Courtney. That is for you. Moving forward. Corey and his game, they show up ready to repeat the same thing to every woman until it lands. He seems sketched to me. Like he's on the show to add to his 100 dates. Okay, I don't know if he's trying to set a Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish. But right now, it's giving very much loser. It's giving very much cornball. It's giving very much, I didn't get that much attention growing up. Like, it's just corny. Like, it's giving corn on the cob. So he pulls Courtney and her tresses to the side, right? So he's like, you know, my weakness is tall women. She's like, oh, okay, honey. She threw game right back. She said, oh, well, my weakness is tall, dark, and handsome. He's like, whoop, show's over. Ugh, pipe down, Mr. 666. Moving forward. Courtney said that Corey stood out to her. Child, that's not sitting down 5 minutes before he's like, you know, this energy is good. Is it good enough for a first date? She's like, oh, yeah. Girl, no, we don't know him. Don't let the looks fool you, child. We don't know him. Mingle with some other people first. He's like, so what's the best number to reach you at? She's like, 555-555-5555. Y'all just be giving y'all number out like that? Child, I would not be giving my number out that way. I don't give my number to any old body. Honey, you really have to work for my phone number, child. And even then, I'm probably going to give you a Google Voice number. But that's just me. So Tommy comes in ready for his round of applause. Y'all know how Tommy is. We have 18 singles. They found love in my hometown of Houston, Texas. No, they did not, okay? Houston was a sham, and I'm saying that as a person from Houston. All we got out of it was Jason and Liz, and honey, they ain't even hanging on no more. Child, goodbye. He's like, we found love in Atlanta. And now here we are in Chocolate City. Okay, Tommy, just calm down, child. Whew, child. So he said he knows they can go on a date. He knows that. But he wants them to find love. There's 20 singles. He tells them tonight that 2 people will go home. So, child, y'all know they start scrambling around, child, starting to mingle, talking to each other and whatnot. And here go Corey. He taps Carrie that he forgot to give her something coming in. He's like, excuse me, I forgot to give you something coming in. And what is that, sir? You don't even know her. So what did you forget to give her? I wouldn't have let him touch me. Child, oh my God. Oh, honey, I know I'm not ready to love, child. I wouldn't even play with these people like that, okay? Oh, I would not be bothered, honey. Do not tap me. What you forgot to give me and you don't even know me? Child, it's a fool. Of course, Carrie is like, oh my gosh, Corey. Child, Carrie love her some men, child. It's giving very much dehydration. So he pulls her to the side to spit the same line that he just got through giving Courtney. And he's like, yeah, you know, your energy, it has me. I would love to get the opportunity to get to know you. He's like, are you available on Friday or Sunday? I guess Courtney is taking up Saturday. And she's like, for a date? Child, Corey is for everybody. Okay? And child, how dare you try to fill up your calendar with things to do Monday through Friday so that you don't get bored? Boy, if you don't go on somewhere, honey, and get yourself some friends, trying to occupy your time with all these women Monday through Friday, and on the 7th day you rest. Child, goodbye. So she's like, so where did all this energy come from? This is what she's saying in her confessional. She's like, did I blink my eyes correctly, or did I sip my drink and he liked it? Like, what is this? It's just weird. No, sis, this is game. Girl, he's a fool. Don't worry about it. She said, so what do you want to do? No answer. He's not ready to love. I can already tell he gonna be a waste of time. So then he goes, you know, I excel at getting a first date by copying and pasting. Okay, your little Word document. But what they really need to understand is that you need to be eliminated because you're not here for love. You're here to find someone to fill your calendar. Child, goodbye. So then he gets her number. Child, his game is trash. But child, apparently it's working on these DC women because it sure wouldn't work for me. Moving forward. Tasia got them thighs out, honey, sitting up there looking like a stallion, and she's talking to Carrington, right? So she's asking him a few questions. Basically, are you done being in the streets? Are you a reform pro? I mean, do you have anybody that you're in a relationship with? Is anybody in a relationship with you? You know, the standard questions and whatnot. And she was just asking. And he said, you know, I feel like I was being asked the same question in different ways. So he starts talking in riddles. You'll still see the love, but I want to be more involved with that person and to know that I love that person and that person loves me. Boy, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? She asked you if you were ready for a relationship and you started talking in rhyming riddles. Child, goodbye. Moving forward. So Camille is sitting down and she's talking to Cornelius. Now, y'all remember that Camille is the teacher, the 42-year-old teacher who's been engaged 3 times. But I must say this, Camille has beautiful skin. Like, it's just beautiful. And she's talking to Cornelius and she's like, so how old do you think I am? He's like, you gonna tell me? Well, I'm gonna find out anyway, so don't worry about it. She was like, just wait till they tell you. Girl, just tell them 42, honey, because you don't look it. It's different when you look it and then you say it. But if you don't look 42, then honey, give yourself the zhuzh that should be given. Be like, I'm 42 and what else is going on? So he's like, well, I'm a country boy, so I want a good Southern belle that's going to pray with me. And then he said he wanted a woman that was going to be able to party with him and pray with him. Well, you know, they say a family that prays together stays together, honey, from the party to the pulpit. Okay. So they're talking about their careers and she's about to get her doctorate and become Dr. Hazel. And he tells her he's an electrical engineer. He says he does a little modeling. And she was like, oh, okay. So then all of a sudden, Camille is like, oh my God, I have a boyfriend and his name is Cornelius. Slow down, low down. You do not even know this man. Girl, not you claiming this man because he just sat down next to you and told you he modeled for a Walmart catalog on Sundays. Girl, goodbye, honey. Y'all don't know each other. Oh, honey, it's a stage 5 clinger. This is gonna be a fool. She's like, you know, he has beautiful skin. He has a beautiful smile. And we gonna make some beautiful babies. Oh, they moving so fast, hunty. You don't know him. You're moving too fast. But then this is the crazy part, y'all. So he was like, I'm going to go check out the food. You want me to go check it out? And she was like, yeah, go check it out and then come back and tell me how it is. So then she was like, don't be talking to no girls over there. Don't get caught up over there. Girl, you better get up and move around. It is elimination day. And this man does not belong to you. Okay, he is here to get to know other people. So then he was like, you know, I can already see it. C and C. She was like, my name begins with a K. And then she kind of rolled her eyes. I was like, girl, look, I don't know how you got those engagement rings, but I do know why you're here looking for love. Girl, goodbye. Moving forward. So LIBBA tells us that she was 19 when she got married and she got divorced at 20. Girl, 19? Girl, I was still mentally in high school in 19. Child, I was still playing on people's phones. You know, knocking on doors and running. Honey, I was doing all kind of stuff at 19. Trying to find a teen club, and they kept pushing the age up. You know, when you were 18, you were like, oh, I'm so excited I can go to the club. Then when you became 18, the club was 21 and up. Then when you became 21, it was 25 and up. Then when you came 25, you like, forget it. Child, not 19. Oh my gosh, child. That is so Little House on the Prairie. Oh no, ma'am. So Lamont is on the scene with his 2 big suit on. And I'm going to call him Sanford and Son because Lamont was Fred Sanford's son on that show. Dun 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 dun. That's exactly what I thought of when I saw Lamont. Okay, Lamont. So Lamont is over there talking to Aisha, and he said he's been single for 7 years, but it's because of him, and he's taking responsibility. I like that, Lamont. I like that. He said he's looking for someone that he could spend some time with because he feels alone a lot of the time. So far, Lamont seems like a cool guy that's really looking for love. He seems like he's really there to find someone and be with somebody. But y'all, we gonna see. Moving forward. Tasia is talking to Walter and she's asking him about if he has kids and if he's somebody's daddy. He was like, I'm somebody's zaddy. I know that's real, honey. But let me tell you something about Walter. I think Walter is a cool guy from my first impression of him. Okay, this initial impression based upon this episode. But judging from the previews, Walter looked like he gonna be a problem. Honey, they all got beards and bald heads, so I was kind of confused. It might have been Walter, it might have been Dante. Honey, it might have been anybody. I don't know who it was, but so far it's looking like Walter might be a problem. Okay, so she's like, so what's wrong with you? You ain't got no kids? Wasn't nobody that want to give you no babies? I know it's like finding a needle in a haystack, sis. I know, but everybody don't have kids. Okay, everybody in the world doesn't have a child. So then he tells her that he was married for a year and a half. He was together with her for 9 years. And when he and his wife were going to have children, she had a cyst on her ovaries and she went into surgery and she passed away. Yeah, that's what you get for just saying stuff out, talking out the side of your neck. You don't even understand what's happening. You don't even know what's going on and you just talking. So then her face was cracked and she's like, oh my gosh. Okay, you don't know people's stories. Sit back and listen. And I didn't hear anybody asking her any questions. She was doing all the surveying, but wasn't giving much information about herself. So then he tells us, you know, she passed in 2003 when he was 28 years old. He said after she passed, he was just wilding out, you know, doing whatever it is he wanted to do. He said he's thankful for her and he still feels open and he's got a lot of love to give. He feels like you can have more than one soulmate. I like Walter. He seems very mature, but like I said, we never know because when the season goes on, child, y'all know how Ready to Love takes us on a roller coaster ride, child. I can't wait to get to the real. Okay, so this was just a little introduction, but I can't wait till we really get into it as we get into it. Aisha is over there talking to Lamont about how anxious she was about the process, and so she's asking him how he was and what he does, right? And so he was like, I'm a security accounts manager. And I was like, is that code for security guard, child? Top flight security? People need security in the world, Craig. Child, not top flight security of the world. He said, you know, my second love is my pen. I do spoken word. So then he started saying something, honey. I think he said, you are like a lily and I'm looking silly or whatever, honey. 2 snaps for you. It's a mess, child. But this is my thing. Why are the men breaking out into song and haiku already? Child, we haven't even been in here good. So Aisha said in her confessional, if I'm giving you my truth and you spit bars, it's a red flag. Lamont, you blew it, child. Moving forward, Sabrina and Phil, they're talking, and Sabrina is stunning. I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, Sabrina's a very pretty woman. So here comes Corey. Can I steal you away? Corey is Troy from last season during the Wonder Years. Okay, this is what Troy used to be back in the day. But what's so crazy about it is that Corey is only 40 years old, but he seems like a much older guy that hangs out at young clubs looking for women at the end of the night. Child, just waiting on the lights to come on. Come here, girl. Have you ever seen a BMW? He seems like one of them. And I'm like, not you 40. Oh, child. This is why I'm single, honey, because if this is what I have to choose from as a 39-year-old woman given the zhuzh that I am given, child, it's a mess. So Phil is like, okay, you can go ahead and talk to her. He's like, no, you can stay right there. So Phil gets up, right? And then he whispers in her ear, do you find me attractive? Sir, please go away. Please go away. Not does she find you attractive. You didn't go up to her and say, you know, I find you very attractive. I just wanted to know if I could steal you for a moment. Do you mind if we got to know each other? Let me just steal a moment with her. But the fact that you went to her and said, do you find me attractive? Well, what I told y'all, honey, used to be a stick figure and now he got a little bit of something to him and now he thinks everybody and their mama want him. She said, I have to get to know you. I haven't gotten to know you yet. Physical means absolutely nothing to me. I know that's right, Sabrina, honey. That's how you shut him down as a grown woman, honey. That means nothing. He's like, I totally agree. So then he tells her his availability. He's like, I'm open on Tuesday. And would you like to go out? And she's just looking at him. He is so skeevy to me. Oh my God. Moving forward. Sabrina and Walter, they're talking because she's moving around now. And I like these two. They have they're similar in age. She's 45, he's 46. But let's just see how it goes because aesthetically, they're pleasing. Okay, pleasing to the eye. I see the two of them together. I'm like, oh, that's a good looking couple. Okay, come on, Sabrina and Walter. So then they get a little deeper and she tells him that she takes care of her parents that are almost 80 years old and her father has dementia. And she says she's never really had an outlet or someone that she's able to talk to about it. Then she starts crying, honey, you need to talk to a therapist about it. Not him. You don't know him. I know y'all not bonding over the trauma of it all. Okay. She was like, to be able to talk to someone, it means a lot. So then she gets all extra emotional, and Walter was very caring. He was willing to listen, and then he shared with her his struggles of taking care of his mom and that his mom died in his arms. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely giving trauma bonding. That's exactly what it's giving. Now I understand that the two of you got something in common. I understand that. Shout out to Bobby and Whitney. But at the same time, y'all bonded over this and then you crying, girl, is it the liquor? Like, child, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Moving forward. He said at this point, the connection went beyond the physical attraction or possibility. It was more of a, I like you as a person. I feel like that's a huge compliment to say you like someone as a person. Anyone can compliment the physical, but for you to say, I actually like you. You as a person, you're a good person. I think these two might lock in. It happens every season. Two people from the mixer put all their eggs in one basket. They claim each other. And then it's a mess and a disaster and a bunch of explosions throughout the season. So this is what these two remind me of, and we shall see. So then he dabbed her eye with his handkerchief and whatnot. And she says she hasn't met anyone that has made her comfortable enough to share. Baby, these DC singles, they dive in fast. Ooh, I'm about to dive in. Honey, they don't waste no time. Do y'all hear me? Not none. So Cornelius and his winning smile, they're over there talking to Courtney, and he asks why things didn't work out with her last person. Basically, she outgrew the person that she was with. She matured, and he wanted the 25-year-old Courtney. And she wasn't there anymore. She had a child, and she had responsibilities. Cornelius said he was really feeling Courtney because he feels like that she could be a good mom, and he's ready to have kids. In the next part of the scene, Frank is talking to LIBBA and Aisha about his tattoos, right? He said he walked past the shop, and then it just happened. He was like, yeah, I have a high tolerance for pain, so I like tattoos. It could be long, it could be hard, but it's going to happen. So then LIBBA says, that's what she said. Girl, you still saying that at your big grown age? Do they even still say that? Not that's what she said. Ugh. He must have a high tolerance for pain, honey, because this conversation is painful for me to even watch. So then LIBBA says, I have the strongest impression for Frank. What does that mean? What does that mean? You have the strongest impression for Frank. Girl, goodbye. So Frank is like, our bodies are blank canvases. We get to dress them up. For some, that's an expression. So he's sitting in between Aisha and LIBBA. LIBBA seems like she tries too hard, and Frank seems like a poser. And LIBBA, what is wrong with your head, honey? You done just got up here and just put this half wig on, didn't comb down the front of it. Girl, don't do that. Like, put your best wig forward. If you're going to go out there into the world, look like you got some class and some sense about you. Child, this is a fool. I'm like, not LIBBA in this half wig. Oh, no, ma'am. This is every season. Aisha, you are the resident stylist of this season. Please help the girls get together, and girls, switch out that wig you got on as well. Moving forward. And to me, he seems like he says the right things, but does the exact opposite. Something about him I just don't trust. And LIBBA says she likes his confidence. Okay, girl. So she's telling them about all of her tattoos and her stamps and whatnot. And Frank said she's a little bit too bubbly for him. AKA, you're trying too hard. That's exactly what I got from that scene. I'm like, girl, you don't have to put it all out there. You're a very pretty woman. Now, that wig is questionable, but you're a very pretty woman. You don't have to do that in order for somebody to pay you some attention. Honey, go find Corey. He paying everybody attention. Day is now night, and Tasia is talking and still asking questions. And ZADIA is talking to Naeem, and he said he's the reason he can't find love. He said it's him. It's not the other people. So ZADIA says she feels a connection now. Child, everybody got a connection with everybody. This is something else. Dante and Shiloh, they're talking, and she tells him that she's half Trinidadian and half Mexican. He's like, oh, okay, my stepdad is from Trinidad. And she likes that he's listening to her very attentively. And so she shares that her parents went through a 3-year divorce. And she said after the divorce, she went from a very affectionate childhood into something very different. And she tells him that she has an anxious attachment because of her abandonment issues. Okay, red flag. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Dante asked what she was doing to work on her abandonment issues. Going on ready to love. That's exactly what she's going on ready to love. Moving forward. He feels like her opening up shows that she's a contender and ready for a relationship. Does it? Because it told me that she may need a little bit more therapy before committing to a real relationship unless she's completely worked through those issues. the ladies are all talking about their connections, right? It's Carrie, Sabrina, Taissa, Courtney, and Corey. So they're all sitting there and they're talking. So then Carrie said, Corey, who are you feeling? Who are you feeling at this moment? So Corey gonna say, well, you know, every woman has good energy. Corey is giving me very much me and you, your mama and your cousin too. Shout out to Outkast. Like, boy, you can't like everybody. You cannot like everybody. He's like, every woman has good energy. Sabrina said, I thought you were feeling me. Well, you did ask me out this weekend. He go, Carrie, did he say you had good energy? She said, yes, he did. Child, that's because he's an energy lie. So then they're comparing notes and whatnot. And she's like, I'm Friday. And she's like, oh, I'm Sunday. Girl, I'm going Saturday. What about you Tuesday? So he was like, you know, the process goes against the nature of how women date. No, sir. We understand the assignment. Okay. The problem comes in when you tell us all the same thing. We are not interested in rehearsed conversation and compliments. You're being lazy. You need to put in the effort to get to know every woman individually. You're not even talking to the women or even getting to know them. You just walk up and immediately say, hey, let me get your number. Child, you can stand outside of the gas station for that. Oh, no, ma'am. So he's trying to talk them in circles, and then here comes Shiloh. And they're like, did he say he was going to go out with you too? She's like, yeah, I'm supposed to be Monday. So then everybody dispersed. They was like, we're going to leave you over here by yourself, child, because you are running game. He thinks he's the Black Hugh Hefner. Child, something's wrong with him. He said, you know, at the moment, every woman is giving me the stank eye, so I feel like I'm going home. Well, you brought it on yourself. Just then, Tommy reemerges, and he talks with the guys, right? Tommy, it should have been ladies first, but go ahead and talk with the gentlemen or whatever. We know like how y'all like to do. So he first asked Phil who he was feeling. He said Camille. Cornelius said he was feeling Courtney and Camille. Dante said he was feeling ZADIA, Courtney, Corey, Kim, Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, built a house. How many bricks did he need? Honey, he was feeling everybody. He was feeling any, mini, mighty, mo. Honey, I was like, okay, you cannot feel every single woman. And Tommy said, you naming everybody. That's the same thing I was thinking. I'm like, boy, you're just as bad as Corey. So then he asked who they were feeling the least. Lamont said Taissa, because she was shooting out all these questions with no real connection. Walter said Carrie. There was no attraction there. And everybody seemed to say LIBBA. It was at half wig. That's what did it. It really wasn't her personality, because she was a cute girl. It was at half wig. If you're not going to blend that half wig back, honey, you would have did better with a headband wig. Child, they got them on sale at every hair store in America. Anywho, so when he asked who they weren't feeling, that's who they said. Then he goes over to the ladies. They like the selection of men. Child, it must be slim pickings down in D.C. Aisha likes Frank, Naim, and Walter. For ZADIA, she likes Walter. For Sabrina, she likes Walter because of their energy. And LIBBA says she liked Dante because he seems sensual, and she likes Cornelius. Camille jumped in like, oh no ma'am, honey, that's my boyfriend. He wooed me. Ma'am, this is a dating show. There's no boyfriends yet. So Tommy said, let me ask you this. Who is the least person that you ladies made a connection with? They said Lamont. Courtney said it felt like a job interview. Well, honey, when he got through scatting, I knew he was going to be on the chopping block. Tell my all right, Lamont. Baby, he was doing all that spoken word, child, on his way out. Tyrone was also named because he was quiet. And Carrie said Corey because, of course, you know, Corey was for the streets. So then nephew Tommy goes over and talks to Corey, right? And he starts lying because he got caught up in his weak game. So it's time for the first elimination. The bottom two for the men were Lamont and Corey. The man that was sent home was Lamont. Oh, Lamont. Well, tell Fred and everybody at the junkyard I said hello. Then Lamont had enough nerve to say a poem on his way out. Imagine having great conversations with beautiful women excited because of the opportunity and chances that you were given, setting the tone for the rest of the day. And just that quick, it all goes away. Oh my God. Okay, Lamont, well, here's something for you. You're going home, but don't you cry. You talking rhymes, so I know you know why. You seem real sweet. This is true, but there's just nobody here for you. Goodbye. Yeah, like I did that. A little spoken word for you, Lamont. Shout out to Lamont. Then we get to the women. For the women, the bottom two were LIBBA. I told y'all I was at half wig. And she's like, oh my God, what? Girl, it's at half wig. And Taissa. She said, I thought I made genuine connections. I feel like I'm being punked. I mean, I don't understand it. Well, honey, Ashton hangs out over there on the MTV street, so I know it's not that you're being punked, honey. You're definitely in the bottom. But ready to love. Why is it always the voluptuous women and the sweet guys that go home first. Now, I'm pretty sure there was nobody here for Lamont with all his spoken word and whatnot, but at the same time, it just seems like a formula. It's like they almost cast fillers. Like, these are the people that I know will probably get eliminated the first episode, so then we can keep the people to get the real party started. That's what I feel every single season. And so the woman that was eliminated was LIBBA. She said, you know, honey, she was being all extra dramatic. It's okay. The men, they got it right. My forever. It wasn't here. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you for coming. So then Tayshia, honey, she was pissed. So Tommy is still talking about everything. He's like, thank y'all. We're going to continue this journey on the road to find love. 18 singles remain. And you know how he is, child. And so Tayshia just sitting there with her face frowned up, child. She done put her whole purse on her shoulder. So the girls go over to her like, girl, what's wrong? What is happening? And she was like, I was almost eliminated. They got my numbers. Girl, yes, they got your numbers, honey, because you thick with it. Of course they got your numbers. They filling up phones with numbers, child. That don't mean nothing. Honey, you're 33 years old. You should know better than that. Girl, you know these men just get some numbers, honey, so they can call you when ain't nothing else to do but you. Okay, you catch my drift? Girl, that don't mean nothing because you done got some numbers, honey. But I see that this is the real you showing up, but it's an elimination dating show. Eventually, you're going to be eliminated unless you find your match. So I'm going to need you to get yourself together because this could come around again. So then she was like, why they playing? I'm not the one for that. Well, let me just say, I know you said you got 4 or 5 numbers. If Corey is one of the numbers, honey, you can scratch his because he for everybody. Lamont gone, honey. I think I saw you talk to him, so that's 2. You can get rid of them 2. So now you got 3 numbers. So whoever's left, cuss them out, honey, and move on. Child, and that was the end of the episode. But the season seems like it's going to be a hot mess, and I cannot wait. Do y'all hear me? I can't wait. This was just really a filler episode, and I put both of them together because it was a 2-hour episode. So I gave y'all a little bit of the cast, and then I gave y'all a little bit of the review. Please comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about the singles. Do you think anybody here is a match? How do you think they look aesthetically? Y'all let me know down in the comment section. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.